Thank you for staying for the news. In our first story, President Akufo-Addo has denied being behind the prosecution of embattled incumbent Member of Parliament for Assin North, James Gyakye Quayson. He says never had he interfered in the work of the judiciary throughout his stay in office as president. Now, addressing some supporters of the New Patriotic Party at Asimbreku in the Central Region ahead of Tuesday's by-election on Sunday, President Akufo-Addo insisted Mr. Quayson was being prosecuted because he found himself at the wrong side of the law. Wahiming Teria has more in this report.
Supporters of the New Patriotic Party defied a downpour on Sunday to attend the last open campaign of the party ahead of the by-election on Tuesday. President Akufo-Addo told party sympathizers he had no hand in the prosecution of the embattled Gyakye Quayson. Flanked by New Patriotic Party's parliamentary candidate for Assin North, Charles Opoku, and some national executives of the party, he quizzed the difference between the prosecution of ex-member of parliament for Boko Central, Adam Sakandi, who was prosecuted and convicted for a similar offense, and that of Mr. Gyakye Quayson.
I say MPP for no million Ghana and
President Akufo-Addo appealed to the constituents of Assin North not to make a mistake by voting for someone who could end up in jail to delay development in the area. But in a swift response, former President John Dramani Mahama insisted President Akufo-Addo erred in comparing the Adamu Sakandi story to that of James Gyakye Quayson. He told party supporters at Assin India the embattled Mr. Quayson would not be convicted since he did not flout the laws on dual citizenship.
Sakande for prison because we didn't draw or the passports this year. Gyakye Quayson, one passports this year. It is some of Mokase. Gyakye Quayson back prison, Gyakye Quayson back prison. Mijna Akacham said, Nada, all prison and net all prison and China.
From Assin North for Joy News, Wahiming Teria reporting.
On now to our second story. The Avenor Traditional Council in the Akachi South municipality of the Volta region has bemoaned the increasing number of crimes and murder in the enclave. The council has therefore appealed to the government to intensify security to curb crime by increasing the number of police officers and logistics to root out criminals in that municipality. Now, this follows the death of a popular commercial motorbike operator and mobile money vendor, Nelson Mandela Zanu.
A popular commercial motorbike operator and mobile money vendor, Nelson Mandela Zanu, was murdered in a robbery incident Tuesday evening while heading home. The unidentified gunmen ambushed him about 60 meters away from his home in the suburb of Dagbalakope in Akachi and shot him dead. They bolted with Mandela's motorbike, mobile money transaction phones, SIM cards and 18,000 Ghana cedis. The deceased left behind 2 children and a wife, Georgina Adifu, who explained that she became worried after she heard a gunshot in the area and couldn't reach her husband through the phone. She then pleaded with the deceased friend to help look for his husband since he did not return home and did not answer his phone.
Church honchifma ima po anwola anyigba ibo ta ma shi touch areji ta ma po ba yelefma ode e ma fu ashin yo ifa valuable na va fifi la ta yini ala anyigba fi ta fma ma no shifu mangba afeli ka no honam ta tuadi a 810 222 tuadi ba ku atura kala fma kala yi.
The father of the deceased, Stephen Senugbe, described the death of Nelson as a great loss to their families and entreated the authorities to heighten security in the municipality. The murder of Nelson brings to 2 the number of commercial motorcycle operators killed in the Akachi South municipality in the last 2 months, alongside other crimes. The incident has caused rising tension among residents, especially commercial motor riders who believe they are the target of these miscreants.
These things has been happening. Not today, the Mandela's one is not the first one. It has been happening. We motor riders in Akachi, we are not safe at all.
Because we need the government to come and help us. Those made them my brother. We need the government to come and do something with us, do the investigation so that we can get them, all of them. Those murderers and then all those people.
The residents, led by the Akachi Youth Parliament, threatened to embark on a demonstration to register their displeasure with happenings in the municipality. Meanwhile, the Aveno Traditional Council has appealed for calm and instructed the youth to indefinitely suspend the planned demonstration. Addressing the press, the paramount chief of Aveno, Togbe Degele Anuma VI, urged the government through the Interior Ministry to increase the number of police officers and logistics in the Akachi South municipality.
We are calling on the government to ensure that the Akachi South Police Command is provided with a means of transport, and also that their staff numbers are raised to commensurate with the growing population of the Akachi South municipality. We also want to assure the police that the Aveno Traditional Council is solidly behind them, so they should endeavor to go to all the drug dens and root out all criminals from our midst to ensure the safety and security of the area.
As a respectful and listening youth leadership as we accepted the call by the Akachi South Police Command and the Traditional Council to call off the demonstrations.
The Aveno Traditional Council and the Aveno Senior PS Chambers have announced a 10,000 Ghana cedis bounty each for information leading to the arrest of the killers of Nelson Mandela Zanu. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Akachi.
Now, some 504 brilliant but needy students of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology have received laptops to support their education. The project, dubbed Support One Needy Student with One Laptop, solicits the support of all stakeholders to provide one laptop to such students. There's more in this report.
The laptops, valued at 4 million cedis, were donated by distinguished personalities, corporate organizations, philanthropists and alumni of the university. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Rita Kusia-Dixon, appealed for more support.
Since the beginning of the Sansor project, again with the help of our partners, if you put all together, what it means is that we have given out 1,901 laptops to our students. Thank you. With a money value of more than 10 million Ghana cedis. I'd like to inform our partners that the beneficiaries of the Sansor scheme are selected after a very rigorous selection process to ensure that only truly needy but brilliant students are able to come and collect these laptops. At all these instances, 2021, 2022, we will list all the contributors. For this year's program, for which reason we are here, I would like to place on record again our deepest appreciation to the following organizations and individuals who have been very kind to us as a university in supporting us. Stanbic Ghana is the first name on the list. Do you want to do it for them? Stanbic. Yes. And I'm happy to add that the CEO is here this morning with us. My brother, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
Let's stay on the educational front as the sector minister, Dr. Yawase Educhum, says there is the need for a strategic revision of the school curriculum. Speaking at the 39th WAEC Distinction Awards, he argued that the addition of critical thinking as a subject in the second cycle institution's curricula will ensure progress in the lives of students and the country as a whole.
Ghana's education system has over the years witnessed its dose of major setbacks, from inadequate textbooks, teaching materials, to incentives for teachers who accept postings to rural areas. However, the country keeps making strides irrespective of these bottlenecks. Speaking at the 39th WAEC Distinction Awards to honor students who excelled in the WASI, Dr. Yawase Educhum has indicated that the current education curriculum has to be revised to meet international standards. He indicated that government efforts are focused towards the addition of critical thinking courses to the module to enable the youth develop the much-needed problem-solving skills.
The prosperity of our nation depends on a quality education system that calls on our youth to become critical thinkers. But how do they become critical thinkers if there is a nation regime do not require critical thinking for you to get an A1? A nation's fortune depends upon education. Depends upon education with a foundation in critical thinking. Depends upon education in an environment where students can also suggest ideas and profess solutions to challenges without memorizing facts from the teacher. Our examination system should not be the one that you can pass through memorization. I call upon universities to look at the changing dynamics of tertiary education and begin to take a serious look at a transcript-based university admission process, where in addition to the WASI, the transcript of the students also become important as another consideration for admission. Whether it's about STEM education, which calls for a new assessment, whether it's about courses that you currently offer, we all have to come together and ensure that we have a curriculum that whose implementation inures to the benefit of our nation. When we look at our social studies curriculum, we know we have work to do. And this is a very good time to begin to do that work and liaise with WAEC to make sure the contents of our social studies curriculum is something that supports our youth to know something about their nation. I can assure you tomorrow, the curriculum will be different. We'll be able to study about the history of Ghana, the history of Africa, something about the geography of Africa. How can we take advantage of AFTA when we don't know the countries in Africa? What is the purpose of education if it does not, in a developing country like ours, change your socioeconomic fortunes? Education is our war against poverty.
Head of the National Office, Wendy Lamte, on her part, highlighted the new rules the assessment body has set up to check examination malpractice.
I wish to use this opportunity to bring the attention of our stakeholders and candidates to the rules and regulations for dealing with cases of irregularity in council's examinations. Indeed, these rules have been revised. This is a result of the new trends in examination malpractice over the past few years. They include the following. 1. Registration of unqualified candidates. Candidates who don't belong to the school system. 2. Distraction of exhibits by candidates. Some candidates think they will get away when they chew the foreign material. We now have a rule for that.
Let's talk health. Now, the Sunyani Regional Hospital, Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital, and Ifeanyi Regional Hospital have received anti-malarial drugs and other essential medicines to enhance quality healthcare delivery at those facilities. Now, the support comes as part of the Bliss GVS Farmers Ghana Act for Africa campaign. There is more in this report.
Bliss GVS Farmers Ghana Act for Africa campaign is aimed at making Africa a malaria-free continent. The donations to the beneficiary companies is to support government and stakeholders' efforts in the fight against the disease. Administrator of the Sunyani Regional Hospital, a beneficiary of the campaign, Mr. Samuel Doji, expressed gratitude to Bliss Pharma for the support.
On behalf of management, entire staff, and our cherished patients, I want to say a big thank you to Bliss GVS Pharmaceutical Company for this nice gesture. They have made us known that this is an initiative to create awareness on malaria and to reduce malaria burden in Ghana and in Africa as a whole.
Dr. Kweku Safo, Director of Pharmacy at Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital, received the donations on behalf of the hospital.
On behalf of the CEO, Central Management, we want to extend our appreciation to you. This is not the first time that you are donating to the hospital. You've been doing so last year. I remember you were here to donate. We know the effect of malaria, more especially on our children under 5, and most of your donations that we are receiving today too, we have some aspects that will cover those under 5. We appreciate them so much, and we are hopeful that you will continue to collaborate with us to manage all our malaria cases.
Dr. Kwame Aponsan Boateng, the medical director of Ifeanyi Regional Hospital, said anti-malaria drugs would go a long way in treating malaria cases.
On behalf of the staff, management, and patients of this hospital, we want to express our deepest gratitude to Bliss GVS for this donation of drugs for the treatment of malaria cases. I must say that this is the 3rd time they are doing this kind of donation through the project that they have titled Act for Africa. I believe that this donation is going to go a long way in helping us treat malaria cases, prevent mortalities, and improve on the quality of life of our patients.
A health talk was held at the Ifeanyi Regional Hospital in the Western region.
That place is very oily, so sometimes when you are washing, you see that there are some nets there. So I want to ask, is there any shampoo that is good for?
Now, the Ministry of Health says it is committed to including mental health treatment in the National Health Insurance Scheme's benefit package. Deputy Minister of Health Asei Saini made this known at the Mental Health Authority's Stakeholders Performance annual meeting in Accra.
Data from the World Health Organization states that 650,000 people are suffering from severe mental health disorder, and a further 2,166,000 are suffering from a moderate to mild mental disorder. Deputy Minister for Health, Mahama Asei-Seni, revealed that the Ministry of Health has requested data and decisions from the Mental Health Authority and stakeholders to determine the possibility and impact of adding mental health treatment to the National Health Insurance Scheme benefit package. He indicates that this aligns with the Akufo-Addo-led government's efforts at meeting the universal health coverage that targets and covers all Ghanaians.
I still have the belief that the government is committed and we are going to do more funding. We are beginning to look at mental health in relationship with National Health Insurance. And you see, that's why we brought the National Health Insurance Financial Controller. At the end of the day, they will discuss and see how National Health Insurance will be collaborated to take care of mental health patients as well. Mental health insurance is going to take care of mental health patients and other activities, so that at least the funding expanding, and with government support and donor support, stakeholder support, philanthropic support, churches and individuals, if they all come together, this issue of financial constraints will be eased. Now.
Chief Executive Officer of Mental Health Authority, Professor Penaman Apo, in an interview with Joy News, stated that one of her visions in becoming the new CEO of the authority is to strengthen collaboration between stakeholders and the authority to improve mental health in the country.
Now, 10,000 children of school-going age in 10 cocoa-growing communities have received educational support from Olam Food Ingredients Ghana Limited in the last decade. This is according to the country head of Olam Food, Asari Botre, during a ceremony to present 550,000 cedis to 10 traditional authorities. The company says this initiative forms part of its efforts to give back to society. There is more in this report.
The licensed buying company, LBC, Olam Food Ingredients Ghana Limited, has donated an amount of 550,000 Ghana cedis to 10 traditional authorities to support the education of children in 10 cocoa-growing communities. In the last 10 years, 10,000 school children have benefited from the company's initiative to support the education of needy but brilliant students. Speaking during a farewell ceremony for the company's Global Chief Sustainability Officer, Gerard Manley, who retires after 40 years of active service in Ghana, head of Olam Food Ingredients Ghana Limited, Eric Asari-Botre, said the educational support formed part of their cocoa sector sustainability agenda.
These children come back. So what we have seen that the impact, they come back to their parents and they are able to really make sure that all the farm education, whether it is in agronomic practices, whether it is in good environmental practices, whether it is into good social practices, are understood much better. Because when we go and tell them, they take it, but they see us as a distant force. But when their children are around them, telling them, Daddy and Mommy, this is the good thing to do and this is the right way, acceptance of it is holistic and very impactful. So that is the strategy we have used and we have seen. Over the period of 10 years, the last time that we checked the numbers, would have impacted more than 10,000 students, 2,000 kids of our farmers.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Board, Joseph Edu, has commended Olam's outgoing Global Chief Sustainability Officer, Gerard Manley, for his immense contributions to the growth and sustainability of Ghana's cocoa industry.
The man we are celebrating here today, I call him as a Ghanaian. He's part of us for very various reasons. Apart from the business, Jerry Manley has a special passion towards farmers in Africa. So about 1.5 decades ago, when it became clear that the market was not being fair to producers, he was one of the strongest pillars who advocated for sustainability programs. A sustainability program here just means that they have to go and support the farmer to improve upon the farmer's income and livelihood. So when you see all these traceability programs and sustainability programs, to the extent that You have various programs reaching farmers to offer support, to offer technical advice, training. Then, one of the key players there has been Jerry Manley.
Describing his time in Ghana as wonderful 40 years, Gerard Manley said while Ghana's cocoa stands out globally in terms of quality, Olam Food Ingredients Limited is concerned about farmers' living income in the country.
This has been a wonderful 40 years. It's been a wonderful time working with you all. One thing about Ghana and cocoa is your techniques. The way you look after cocoa is textbook. You can write a textbook just by following the process of cocoa in Ghana. The way that it's looked after all the way at the farms, all the way through to the buying of the cocoa, the grading of the cocoa, the logistics, the moving it down to the port, the fumigation of the cocoa, the onboarding of that cocoa. And when you think about it, there is no country in the world, right, where Cocoa Board and the CMC can so well work together to make sure that whatever cocoa goes into a warehouse, the buyers overseas are happy to accept the quality of that cocoa. There's no other country that can do that. We know that farmers do not get the right price for the labours that they put into their farms. So yes, we have spent a lot of time. We have a lot of agronomists. We have a lot of experience. And what we want to do is really make sure that experience that we've taken from around the world can be channeled so that farmers can look at really how they can increase the yields and productivity on the crops.
As environmental degradation and climate change continue to threaten sustainability of the cocoa industry, policymakers have been urged by stakeholders to step up their fight to help protect the sector from total collapse. For Joy News, my name is Carlos Caloni.
Well, it's a wrap for the news. Let's stay for the news review. Up next.